finally upgraded my camera, and today I'm going to introduce to you the Canon R7. So if you're looking for a camera that's good in photo and video without breaking the bank, stay tuned in this video. I'm going to give you guys the pros. There are some cons that I'll give you to this camera, and if you should cop or drop. So stay tuned. Let's get to it. When it comes to the Canon R7, it comes at a 32.5 megapixel APS-C camera, and it is a crop sensor camera, but with that you're getting 32.5 megapixels. So even if you decide to pick up a wide lens, long lens, whatever it may be, you're gonna get that crop factor. It's gonna be at 1.6, but with that you're gonna get super clean detail when it comes to the photo side. As for the video side, it has sampling for 7K, so you can use 7K sample down to 4K. They have a 4K fine, they have a 4K crop modes, and they also just have a normal 4K. They also have HD as well. So they have different modes that you can use to get your picture quality for your videos. The 7K resolution sampled down to 4K is super crispy, at least to me, so I love it. I can actually show you guys some footage, and you guys can kind of see that 7K sample down. But it's really crispy, really cool. So I truly enjoy it with that. And also, I kind of bought this camera on purpose. I was gonna go towards the full frame route. I was choosing between the R7 and the R8 at the time. When I went to go get the camera, I bought it with that type of intent only because I had to go to a summer camp. So I tested it out with the photos to see how everything went with that. Came out pretty cool, pretty crispy with that. I didn't really get to test out the video side of it because I didn't really have a lot of video gear to attach with the camera to make sure that everything was working how I needed to work. But just particularly pertaining to the photography side of things, photos are really good. I did at the time only had one lens, so with that lens I had a 18-45. This is a variable aperture lens, so the aperture actually rises up and down based off of how far you zoom in. But then as I started to save up some money, I ended up getting a 16. This is a 16 millimeter wide angle lens, and then I also ended up getting a 50 millimeter as well, the nifty 50 for the RF mount. I did get one more lens as well. I also ended up getting a Cine lens, a 24 at T12. Ooh, had a little dust on there. And I also put in a black mist filter, and I put in a ND filter. So when I attach this to the camera, videos come out super crispy. And if I want to use it for photo too, I can use it for that as well. So I did this on purpose, like I said, because when I finally do upgrade to a full frame camera, or if I just buy that as an additional camera, I don't necessarily have to switch out, any type of lenses. I can pretty much keep what I have, and I don't have to have so many lenses in my bag unless I want to be able to upgrade to those, newer glass when it comes to the lenses. But also, if I really want to get super detail, with my imaging for video or whatnot, they have C-Log 3 in regards to the codec for this camera, so which is really good. And with C-Log 3, what that is, pretty much the screen will be grayed out, just as if with your iPhone, if you have like a newer iPhone like the 15 and up, you can use ProRes log. Pretty much your screen will be grayed out, and if you wanted to color grade and detail your actual work, you can do that with the best ability of using that. So with me being able to use this camera and have C-Log 2, that works good, and that works to my advantage. Another thing that I like is the fact that it has 2 car slots. So if I want to use one for photo, one for video, I can switch between the two, and I don't have to lose any type of data in that sense. It has a video and a picture mode. So when it comes to me switching back and forth from video to photo, it doesn't necessarily give me any problems or any issues. And then obviously I have the custom button layout that I can use as well for the camera. It does carry the bigger batteries. So the camera will actually last a little bit longer pertaining to its life. When it comes to recording for long hours or whatnot. So that's also a plus that I like with the camera. So instead of using the small batteries and it dies after like 45 minutes or whatever to an hour, this can last roughly about almost 2 hours or so, give or take, depending on your situation when it comes to the temperatures. Now, also, it is a weather sealing camera as well. So based off the conditions of outside, depending on how that goes, I can use the camera in those conditions and I won't have any type of issues as far as the camera being. It does have in-body stabilization. So that is also a key or a plus of why I bought the camera. It has in-body stabilization. I can, pretty much use it without having to use a gimbal. I mean, it's best to have a gimbal, when it comes to your camera. But if I just work in handheld, I have that in-body stabilization, what actually works perfect, for my situation. So you always have to go based off of your situation when it comes to, these types of scenarios. But like I said, for me, as far as a hybrid based camera, this is pretty dope to have. Now, I did kind of speak on the cons just a tad, but now I'm going to get into the cons of why this camera may not be for you if you decide not to get this camera. And there are, plenty of reasons why. It's not a full frame sensor. Now, I would say if this camera was full frame, this would be the perfect camera for me, and I would not need another camera, at least until like another 5 to maybe 10 years. But that's just me personally. But with it not being a full sensor camera, it's kind of a downside. I feel like if we had the full frame equivalency with the 32.5 megapixels, I feel like this would be the perfect hybrid camera. Then at this point, you might as well just get the R6 or the R6 Mark II or even R6 Mark III. It just came out. But, so with it being a, crop sensor camera, I think that's part of the reason why they made it like this. And plus, on top of that, with the price that it's at, $1,500, that's not bad. And if you get it used, you can probably get it for no more than about 13, maybe 12. So just for the body alone, for less than $2,000, I mean, you can get a lot in this camera. But not having it full frame is kind of a bummer. And I would say the last con pertaining to the camera, it doesn't necessarily have a lot of versatility when it comes to the RFS lenses. There's not a lot of lenses you really can choose from. So essentially you're going to have to upgrade, you're going to have to, build your your income so you can order more lenses, which is a little bit more pricey. So why would this be a great hybrid camera? Well, for one, it has great autofocus, so it's great for video creators. If you're definitely a photographer or if you're definitely a videographer and you're using this for video purposes, you have, like I said, the 7K sample, which gives you the great quality for it. You can use C-Log 3. And like I said, you have the great autofocus that you can use with that camera. When it comes to photographers, you have the resolution that you can use pertaining to your photos. So whether you're a studio photographer, street photographer, commercial photographer, whatever it may be, you have that megapixel, difference that will actually be able to help you get crispy images. So personally, for me, I would definitely use this camera as a B cam, as a secondary camera. For now, if you want to use it as your A cam, you definitely can. It's definitely a huge upgrade from what you could have gotten, depending on what you have now. So this is definitely still a great camera to use, especially in 2025, 2026. It's a great camera to use. You can use, like I said, you can use it as a B cam, when it comes to any type of professional shooting. I know for me right now, I'm definitely going to use this as my A cam to start. But when it's time for me to upgrade and actually get, that full frame, when I am ready to get to full frame status, I'll definitely be using this as a B cam. So, yeah, but that is my reasonings for upgrading from my small M50 to the Canon R7. You know, let me know in the comments if you feel like the R7 would be a great camera for you to use, especially as an upgrade. And if you're a hybrid shooter, you know, if you feel like that would be, you know, the camera for you. Even if you're not ready to upgrade a full frame just yet and you're looking to get into the APS-C frame, a R7 will definitely be a great choice. That is the video for today. Thank you for you know, listening and watching if you're still here. And yeah, we're gonna come up with some more videos using this bad boy. And if you want to know why I've chosen, if you want a little bit more in depth of why I've chosen the lenses that I've chosen pertaining to this R7, I have a video right here that you guys can watch. I'll see you guys soon.